And there was a moment where I was playing defense against Cade, and he went to the hole, and I got elbowed in the face, like the first possession.
Flagrant elbow.
So that was, a welcome to NBA moment.
What's up, Piston fans? It's your boy Flagrant Elbow back with another one. Just looking at the team and where they're headed. We're going to talk about a few things, look at a couple stats, and I want to give what I think should happen moving forward with the team, what things I'm looking for, the coach changes, the coach to make, and so on and so forth. And just a couple things about these Detroit Pistons right now. We're 3 games in. So we're going to get into that. Before we do, I want to thank everybody for subscribing, for checking out the video. 585 subscribers. I thank all of you for that. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Takes less than a second to do. I'd appreciate it. It helps the algorithm, helps the videos get seen to a lot more people, and just really shows your support for content based on these Detroit Pistons, who we're all fans of, right? Gives us something to cheer about in the city, and especially until the Lions get on board, right? And we're not going to talk about that. But anyway, that's what we're going to talk about today. But once again, thank everybody for subscribing. Leave it in the comments how you feel about the video, how you feel about the Pistons, and some things and changes you think need to go on as well. Everybody, please be respectful also. So with that being said, let's get into the video. So some things to look at when we look at these Detroit Pistons. The last few games haven't been the best. We lost, especially losing to the Pacers last night. That was a game we really, looking at their schedule, we really could have got that one. Early schedule is going to be kind of tough, but we could have got that game against the Pacers. Started the game off well, but a lack of defensive intensity is what set us down a course for doom. The Pistons did pull off were able to get 115 points, but they gave up 124 points. So with that being said, some things, some areas as far as that defensive intensity that I think really the team could benefit from. Do they have the ability to be and to show defensive intensity? I think they do. They turned it up late in the fourth quarter. So if you could turn it up late in the fourth quarter, you could turn it up for the rest of the game. That's something I would like to see them do. All of them. We have to get bigger in the front court. Now, Nerlens has been out. All of us were looking at Nerlens being able to get in there and help out with some good rim protection, rebounds, and the same thing with Bags. He got injured, so he's not playing, but he definitely gives us an offensive punch, but his length can help out defensively for us as well. Because when you look at the Pistons so far this season, rebounding-wise, the rebound leader is Isaiah Stewart, 10.7 rebounds. Then you got Saddiq Bey, and you got Jalen Duren, and then Jaden Ivey's even in there, and Cade Cunningham. So that's good to see 2 of our backcourt players being in the top 5 for rebounding for the team. But Beef Stew is going to get rebounds. He's undersized, but he's in there getting rebounds. And then Saddiq Bey has been doing a good job this season. I don't know what he did last year, but it's good to see him in this category grabbing boards. So helping out with that. Then you got Jalen Duren, who's not starting, but he's still giving you close to 8 rebounds a game as well. As far as blocks are concerned, because we're talking about defense, Jalen Duren's leading the team in blocks. Jalen Duren is not our starting center. Guess who's second behind Jalen Duren in blocks? Jalen Duren had 1.7 blocks. And behind him for the team is Killian Hayes with 0.7 blocks. Guess who's behind Killian Hayes for blocks? Now, we're talking about defense. Protecting that rim. Jalen Duren, 1.7. Killian Hayes, 0.7. Almost 1 block a game. Behind him is Saddiq Bey at 0.3 blocks per game. That's 3 people leading the team in blocks, not named Isaiah Stewart. Our starting center. Not named Bojan Bogdanovic. Our starting power forward. Beef Stew comes in at number 4. Beef Stew comes in at number 4, getting block shots at 0.3. The same as Saddiq Bey. How many times you see Saddiq Bey block a shot? Not often. And from that standpoint, Isaiah Stewart's only getting 0.3 blocks also. So that's our starting center. And right behind him is our starting, and then right behind him is Bojan Bogdanovic with 0.0 blocks. Nobody else on the team's getting any blocks. So that's kind of a messed up category defensively when we're looking at restoring that we're dealing with there. No rim protection right now. Now, when Bags come back, will he provide rim protection? Well, it'll give us a little bit, but the thing with Bags is that he's 6'11", so he's got length. He's got that height. Jalen Duren is in there doing his thing, getting almost two blocks a game and just playing 21 minutes. So that's our rim protector. Why isn't he starting? Well, because he's a rookie. Okay, I understand that. But give him some more minutes. He needs to be getting more minutes, and that'll help shore up some defensive presence around that rim. Beef Stew needs some help. He needs some help around the rim. We need offense from Bojan Bogdanovic. I agree with that. Bojan's a veteran. He's making good money. I agree he should be starting. But when it comes to defense, we got to hit people in their mouth first. When it comes to defense, I feel like Beef Stew and Jalen Duren should be starting. Beef Stew's got the footwork where he can move around, doing the switching that Dwayne Casey wants to do. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. He's got the footwork to stay around. Put Beef Stew at the power forward. Let him jump out there and shoot threes. When scoring starts to suffer, you can bring Bojan in. Bojan already said he's glad to be here, and he'll do whatever's needed here while he's here in Detroit. Bring him off the bench. You could even put him at, you can let him and Sadiq Bey switch depending on the lineup we playing against. Let him come in at the 3. If Sadiq can't get it going with the starting group, bring Bojan right in. Switch it up. Switch up that 3 spot. Now the bad point about Beef Stew Jalen Duren starting with Beef Stew is that you may get both of them in foul trouble, and then we have no rim protection. So maybe that's what Kay is thinking right now. But when we start getting Nerlens back, he's bicycling a lot here lately. But when we start getting him back and off the sidelines, he can come in and help if one of those get into foul trouble. But for right now, I just would personally rather see some rim protection in there defensively. Let's hit people in their mouth defensively first. Shut teams down. I think that would help do that. When it comes to what Casey's doing, his defensive scheme, the switching, like I said, we got the personnel to do that because Beef Stew can jump out there and play on the perimeter. But I've been hollering this for a few videos. It leaves us at a disadvantage in the paint, under the rim, for rebounds. And then when teams start throwing it like the Pacers did, their 2 7-footers were in there, 6'10", 6'11". Those guys were in there getting lobs, grabbing boards. I remember watching one possession they had, and they got maybe 4 offensive rebounds. We can't match that, and you can't give a team 3 or 4 opportunities to score off a miss. So I just think that switching is not a good look. I don't see where it's working. We won the very first game, but that was against a team that's coming up like we are. But the reason we won that game was because of defensive intensity. And like I said, if they can do that in the fourth quarter, they can do that all game. Why not do it all game? Why not show defensive intensity all game and also have some good rim protection in there to start the game off? Why not? That's what should be being restored. That's the Pistons' identity. That's a bad boy identity. That's a going to work identity. Restore that. We're going to score points. That's not going to be a problem. But defensive intensity helps you get transition baskets. Easy baskets. How many times did we see the Pistons going down playing against a set defense and struggling to get their offense going and getting a shot off before the buzzer? Too many times. I don't want to sit up and watch Corey Joseph chuck up a 3 ball 6 feet from the 3-point line ever again. before the shot clock goes off. I don't ever want to see that again. But that's what we're going to find. That's what we're going to see. Defensive intensity gives you easy transition baskets, and the flow of the offense can suffer without defensive intensity when you're going down playing against set defenses all the time. So Casey's got some cleanup to do on that, from that aspect. Some cleanup to do as far as defense. They're going to keep switching. I just think we're going to continue to see these types of games where the Pistons are getting outscored in the 120s, 130s. Defense is what wins games. If you're trying to outscore every team that's playing, if you're trying to just outscore them, you're going to run into a problem. So Alec Burks will be back. That'll help with some shooting off the bench. The last game against the Pacers, Killian didn't have too good of a game, but I mean, that's gonna happen. We got a lot more games. I'm not gonna jump on Killian right now. That'll happen. He'll have some games like that. But the whole thing about this video is I wanted to talk about what I think Casey needs to do, some things he needs to build up, and looking at those stats, the rebounding stats, the block stats. I don't care about points right now. Points are going to come. In that game, as horrible as it looked, Cade turned it on in the fourth quarter and still got 20-something points for that game. So I don't care about points right now. I want to see defensive intensity. I want to see that as our identity, and that'll lead to so many easy transition back buckets. That's what happened in the very first game. They turned that defense on, and surprisingly, the bench came in and turned the defense on. They was getting steals, easy transition baskets, easy transition baskets. That's demoralizing to a team. I used to like to watch the Pistons play and make teams just quit. The going to work Pistons, they played so tough defense, they just made teams quit. They was full court pressing in the first quarter sometimes. Not waiting till 6 minutes left in the fourth when you're down 12 points to try, let's do some full court press. We got young boys. My last video about the game, I was saying that we got young boys on this team with a lot of energy. And surprisingly, they played pretty well to be on the back-to-back. The very first one, but they looked pretty good. They didn't look too exhausted. Let them boys run. Mix it up. Throw some full court presses in on the other team sometimes. Get some easy steals, some easy baskets. That gets the team going. That gets them fired up. When the bench came in the very first game and got that defense rolling, the starters came back in, locking in on defense. Somebody out of both units got to get serious about defense. I'm going to tell you who I see giving they all on defense. Every game, Beef Stew. I have yet to see Beef Stew take a playoff. He's undersized. He be out there tussling and wrestling with them 7-foot centers, fighting for position, and he's going for everything. He's out there giving his all. But obviously the team's not looking at him as the leader and doing the same thing. I think if Cade goes out there as the leader and locks in defensively, the whole team will respect that and lock in. But I even see Bojan out there getting on the floor for balls, trying his best to play some type of defense. He's not the best, but he's out there trying hard. So I'm looking to Cade, our leader, not to just lead the team and get the team involved. Take the game over from the start. Let's go. Let's go. You're the franchise face. You're the leader of the team. It's time to lead defensively as well. And the coach should drill that in their heads. Because right now, the defense is horrible. The switching's not working, and we need good rim protection, and we need intensity from everybody, players 1 through 5. Ivy's doing a good job applying defensive intensity, but he's a rookie. He's a rookie. But I appreciate his effort. Cade, when he's locked in doing it, he has good effort. Isaiah Livers has good effort. Beef Stew, good effort. And Sadiq, surprisingly, has been looking decent on defense. But we want to see intensity throughout the whole game, not just the fourth quarter. So we'll see what happens. They'll get another test coming up, playing against the Washington Wizards. They'll play that game tomorrow, 7 p.m. Looking forward to seeing how they contain Bradley Beal, and also are they going to be the ones to punch them in the mouth first? What are they going to do? So hopefully some things will change. Maybe not. You know, this is going to be a long season. Hopefully Nerlens Noel will be able to get out there and show his face, show us what rim protection really looks like. And I really believe that if we start seeing defensive intensity and some decent rim protection, that we'll start seeing some wins come. Even though the schedule's tough, I think we'll still a few games out of these upcoming. I think our first 20 games are gonna be pretty tough. We got New York coming back up. No, we got Atlanta, Golden State, Milwaukee, Cleveland, OKC. Well, we could probably get that game. Then you got Boston, New York, Boston, Toronto, the Clippers, Los Angeles, Sacramento. So we got a tough schedule. So with that being said, hopefully some changes will be made. And, you know, it was a few highlights. And like I said, we're not going to win a lot of games this season. But I still want to see exciting basketball. I want to see defensive intensity. And if we lose a game and we still play hard defense, then so be it. You can't win them all anyway. But I definitely want to see some defensive intensity. So that's how I felt about some things going on with the Pistons here. Some changes I'd like to see made. Let me know how you feel about that too. Especially if you love defense. I got a few people that I know comment. I can't think of his name. A few people that I know love defense. They just like me. I've always loved defense. Love to see the Pistons shut teams down. We could be scoring 70 points that game and still win. 70-68, 70-69, 70-67. So we're going to score a lot more points than that, but I definitely want to see the Pistons lock in defensively. So that's all I have for you. Wanted to make a quick video. Tune in. We got a good game coming tomorrow against the Washington Wizards. We'll have some more content coming out for that as well. So with that being said, everybody stay safe.